Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nemeka Onyeka. I just read the plan of the federal government of Nigeria to do diaspora bond. And what was the intention? The intention behind the concept is to see if they can trap $1 billion diaspora remittances through it. And I want to make this submission, honest submission, patriotic submission on how these things can be done. I am doing this based on hindsight and experiences, working on similar projects. In fact, precisely 2007 to 2010, I was privileged as the head of project finance and in one of the deposit money banks to structure some of the first diaspora bond and the equity linked for $20 million each. But that project, that idea could not materialize could not come into fruition because those who were supposed to do the contribution, those who were supposed to invest in it, said that they will only invest in projects that does not have any link with government, and they will have to do it in the southeast of Nigeria. And I want to appeal to the government of the day. Raising diaspora bond is the easiest thing to do. But diaspora bond is not just something you wake up, you want to go and source for fund, you create notes, provide sovereign guarantee, and people will invest. Nigerians do not have trust in governments. And that is the truth. To attract investors, there must be some level of trust and there must be some level of confidence. And I can tell anybody who cares to listen that the biggest export of Nigeria are our diasporans. It's not even crude oil. Our diasporans today can easily mobilize $100 billion into Nigeria if investments are properly structured the way it should be designed and structured. Mexico annually attracts over $56 billion diaspora remittances. At a time in this country, we are doing about $25 billion. And I care if anybody cares to listen. The $25 billion remittances we are getting under Jonathan's government was just a pittance compared to the kind of volume of monies that Nigerian diasporans control. In the US, we have over 462,000 Nigerians. In the UK, we have about 325,000. In Canada, we have about 110,000. In fact, it's estimated that we have over 5 million legal immigrants, human exports. Human capital exports from Nigeria, human capital exports that we can easily mobilize if we put the right designs and transparent structures in place to invest here in Nigeria. I'll give you an example. No Nigerian diaspora will invest in any bond or equity linked instrument that is not tied to projects, to businesses, to enterprises, to transactions, to infrastructure that they love or they see as going to bring light and development to their region. I don't know why Nigeria is the only place in the whole wide world where rail tracks are built into nothingness. If you look at the rail tracks that were built by the colonialists, it is vertical rail line moving from the north to the south. The whole essence of doing rail projects by the colonialists was for them to just see raw material out of Nigeria. The most lucrative rail route in Nigeria today is the Lagos, Shagamu, Ijebu-Ode, Ore, Benin, Asaba, Onitsha, Owerri, Port Harcourt, back to Aba, to Umuahia, to Okigwe, to Enugu, into Ebonyi, Afikpo, Abakaleke, from Moka into Onitsha, back to Asaba. It's 817 kilometer railroad, the most lucrative railroad. We've done the numbers. It's a railroad that has annual 200 million tons cargo traffic per annum, 300 to 500 million passenger traffic per annum. It's a railroad that can easily generate about $2 to $3 billion annually in terms of gross revenue. It's a railroad that can catalyze real estate development, other business clusters along the route. It's a rail project that can be done under a design, build, operate, and transfer or other diverse PPP models 45 years. It's a rail project that can pay back to investors within 7 to 10 years. Their payback time. It's a railroad that will cost about $4.2 to $5 billion to do. Properly structured, we can easily raise diaspora funding for this. We don't need to borrow. We don't need to borrow money from anybody. We don't need to borrow money. We don't need to borrow money from anybody. In terms of what do? Very simple. we have already established a private sector SPV. The private sector SPV will midwife this. The biggest rail operator in the whole world, the Deutsche Bank Group. The Deutsche Bank Group has about 240,000 employees. They are a German-based company. We have other PPP, the other rail operators and rail managers we can engage from Turkey to other places. The SPV will be owned 20-30% by this core investor, rail operator, manager. Then, these 11 contiguous states will own 1% through their private public partnership companies, incorporated entities. 1% only. Federal government can own 5% if they want. Then it's going to be 20% equity contribution, 80% debt. We can raise funding from any source, from AFDB, World Bank. We can easily raise the funding. The equity contribution will be about $980 million or $1 billion thereabout. We can easily get 135 to 300,000 Nigerians that can easily contribute $5,000 each to buy equity in the SPV, and we'll list it on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange and list it on the London Stock Exchange. With this project, you say you're raising diaspora funding, equity funding, investment, people will invest. Diaspora funding, people will invest. If we decide today, not that the political or water dredging that they used to play boo-boo with people, the Southeast need a massive inland port in Onitsha and Uguta. To dredge from the Atlantic to Orashi will take about $150 million, including shoreline protection, so that the communities passing through that part will not be swallowed by flood. Shoreline protection, everything. We can even do jetties, we can even small ports along the line. It will help us to create massive cargo movement and transport movement through the sea. If we decide today to do the dredging from the Atlantic to Orashi, $150 million, we can easily set up an SPV under PPP. We will easily mobilize diaspora funding from the Southeasterners, and it will be done clean and delivered within 3 to 4 years. Without politics, we don't want any FAC or jack money from any government. There are different projects. If we want to set up agro clusters in every electoral ward in the Southeast, agro clusters that can generate nothing less than $1.5 billion annually from each community in the Southeast, we can do it under the same mission, community, diaspora, private, public partnership arrangement. We will raise diaspora funding, equity, debt links. See, let me tell you, I have been talking, for the past 18 years, I've been working with the diasporans. Nidoa Africa, Nidoa Europe, Nidoa Asia, Nidoa America. See, these guys are, in fact, I didn't sleep till 3 a.m. this morning. I was speaking with some of them in North America. And they are saying to me, Doctor, ignore these ruffians who call themselves government. Give us a structure. We will fund it. And they even told me that the diasporans can fund Nigeria, can fund projects more than the federal government of Nigeria can ever generate in their life with crude oil. So all this rah-rah-rahness, we want to do diaspora. You don't see, we want to do diaspora fund. Nobody will give you fund, not tied to any project, not tied to any scheme, not tied to any enterprise development that will generate dollar. I sit down here and I see things we can do in clusters across all the sectors, things that we can do that will enable us generate $250 billion into this economy. All that we need from government. See, we don't need a crowd. We don't even need the fake. If the presidency and those in Abuja are smart, you just need a team of 6 smart Nigerians, execution team. Their job is to harness and integrate the whole logistics across the value chain from producers to consumption. Let me tell you, we can easily generate nothing less than $30 billion from Nigerians and diaspora, just exporting food commodities to them, things that they want at a rate. I was talking with a diasporan, and he was telling me buying yam at $3.80 is very expensive. Most of them not even eat yam. But we have created a structure where we can export yam to them, and I allow them to eat the same 1 kg yam at $1, and they will still, those who are doing it will make money. Those who are distributing it in the West will make money, and Nigerians will eat everything they used to eat here at a very cheap, affordable cost to them. These things are no skyrocket science. Nigeria. It's well. God bless you guys.